Alright, so we're on the flight to Alaska, made it by the skin of our teeth. Check in when we get to Anchorage. I'm walking to my next terminal, and my favorite pizza place has turned into a COVID-19 vaccination clinic. Okay, so we landed at the airport. We got our rental car. We got the Dutch Harbor Special. At least this time, it looks like there's no dents. Pretty nice looking car, actually. Last year, like 2 years ago, when I got one of these, someone had gutted a fish in the back of the car. Alrighty, let's get this. Get our seatbelt on. You can only go 25 miles per hour in this town, otherwise they'll get your ass. Okay. Let's make sure that that's good. Mirrors. Alrighty, so just gonna drive to the hotel. So when I got to my flight in Anchorage, we boarded the plane, and they're like, oh, by the way, only 50% of you are going to have your luggage land because of weight restrictions. So luckily, I got my luggage. Not always lucky, but I'm lucky when it counts. And so I'm in my flight to Anchorage. I was like sandwiched between two people, and this old lady had the biggest mustache I've ever seen in my life, and she told me different stories for 3 hours straight. Freaking crazy. And then on my second flight into Dutch, I was talking to the stewardess, and I noticed that they had a Desmo locking the cabin door, and I was like, oh, I told the stewardess, like, oh, that's cool, you got a Desmo. And she's like, oh, what's that? And I kind of told her about it. And, I told her about, I do lock picking as a sport and as a business revenue sometimes. And so probably like 30 minutes pass by, and I get kind of bored. And so I take out my lock picks and start picking the speed lock tournament lock. And she kind of looks at me and she goes, I don't know if we're allowed to have tools on the plane. You're making me kind of nervous. Can you put that back in your bag? And I'm like, what the? Okay. So real quickly, so over here, that is the Norwegian Rat. They have the best paninis I've ever had in my life. And coming up here, we have the only gas station on the island. There's other gas stations for the boats, but this is the one for cars. There's Alaska Ship Supply, and then over there is the Grand Aleutian Hotel where we're going to be staying. And then this store here is the small, like a really small electronic supply store that if you like for your iPhone charger, you can get it, but they charge you up the nose for it. That is Mount Ballyhoo. And if you can't see the top of the mountain, you're definitely not flying out. That's kind of the rule of thumb. So Been a pretty long day, but we made it to the hotel safe. I'll go ahead and unpack and see if anybody's available to go service. Okay, so today we went ahead and stopped at the dealers already, and now we're headed to go see some boats. So we're going to go stop at Westward, see what they got going on. There's a couple of boats out there that want to see me, so I'm just kind of showing you guys the scenery. It's a nice day out today, actually. Actually is the boat right there that we're going to be going to. Alright, we're on one of the boats. One of the rooms there. So I'm going to go down here and look at the receiver. receivers for the hydrophones, or these are junction boxes actually for the hydrophones, and then here's our receiver. And see that 2 active, 1 passive. We got our Ethernet cable. We got our test hydrophone right here. And we got some fish in the hold for this boat too, it looks like. And there's the ES80 from Simrad. And I'm sure the SM90 arrives on, but I don't know where it is. Alright, so I made my way to what we on the island call the pot docks, and that's because, as you can see, this is where people store their extra crab pots. It's not the nicest weather out today, but I like to come here because it's very peaceful and quiet. It's pretty far away from town. It takes probably about like 20 minutes to get here. But on a nice day, you can see snow on the mountains and stuff like that. I'm going out to this dock to try to get a closer look at something I want to show you guys. There is a sunken ship you guys can see. It's just sticking out of the water. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Here is a barge that got drifted ashore that they've turned into like a rest holding area. You can kind of see it out there in the distance. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. It's kind of foggy out, so you're not going to be able to see much in the distance, but hopefully you guys will be able to see something nice. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty good. So zoom in right there. So out there in the distance, that little spire there, that is a sunken ship. On a clear day, you can see it really nicely. It's kind of hard, like I said, because it's foggy, but yeah. So this is the pot docks. This is one of my favorite places to go. We'll also go up near Mount Ballyhoo and maybe a later day, and I'll show you guys that as well. All right, so we're at the spit. The storm's starting to pick up a lot. It's getting like real windy. We're gonna go ahead and see if there's any boats we can visit today. Looking for starfish potentially. Pro tip: when you're boarding these boats, make sure your pockets are zipped up. You learn that lesson only once. Ooh, break from the wind. The common, we need to visit them actually, so I'll show you guys how to get on the boat. This might be about a pretty comfortable stay. There we go. So you're going to take this ladder, jump over the boat. I'm not going to use my phone in hand. Okay, so we are at the Cove today. It's a beautiful day in Dutch Harbor, actually. And just going to probably go around the bend. The foot is still a little messed up, but not enough where I can't walk. But let's kind of do some exploring around the island. It's a pretty slow day today. People will come down here and typically have bonfires. You see there's a fire pit right here. It looks like it says no fires allowed. And they tried to burn the sign potentially. Yeah. Looks like there's a burn barrel right here. Actually, let's go this way and go up. So, like I said, my foot's still a little messed up, so I probably won't be doing Ballyhoo, unfortunately, but we might go out to the ponds today. didn't appear that there was anybody in town that I had to see, so oh, looks like a boat's leaving today. Can't see who that is. So we're just gonna go around the bend and take a look at over there. I think it goes to Coastal Cave, if I remember correctly. It might be a little bit farther down. We'll see. Looks like there's a big log over there that maybe someone's using as a seat. It's like walking sideways up this this incline. There we go. Oh yeah, pretty decent seat. Probably get a good view of the bay from here. We're almost around this corner. Let's take a look at it. Other people coming this way too. My phone stopped recording. Sorry about that. Alright, we're just about around the bend of the corner. Yeah, so this is the boulder field. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to go any further today because I'm split, but if you keep going around this way, Jesus, man, this thing's slippery. If you keep going around this way, just around that corner, there should be a coastal cave that the waves eroded. So that should be pretty good for a little hike. So we'll go over to the ponds, and I think that might be the last thing I do for this trip. There's always next year, so catch you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I am still heading up Overland Drive. I stopped to share with you guys this view. We're heading to the highest point on Alaska, drivable point on Alaska, but on our way to the ponds. But figured I'd show this view with you since you don't usually get to see this, since it's usually foggy up here. So, okay, so we made it to the top of Overland Drive, and you can see the ponds out there in the distance. There's some of them that are kind of close. Those ones are hikeable too. These ones are drivable down to at the bottom there. But yeah, so we're at the top. Just figured I would show you guys before we head down. Okay, so we are still heading down, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit closer view of the ponds. You can see them right there, and then there's a little bay over there. Beautiful little road. And we got some more beautiful mountains over here. So, meet you guys at the bottom. Okay, so the road to the ponds was closed, unfortunately, but I did stop on a roundabout to take a look. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a river that runs through all the ponds, like from the snow melt all the way down, and it goes into the bay over here. So this is where the fresh water mixes with the salt water from the ocean. So I don't know if you can see right at that kind of V shape right there. That's where the entrance is. So we're gonna keep going. I believe this loops around, or you turn around. I can't remember, it's been a while since I've been out here, but we're gonna keep going and see what's ahead. Okay, so it looks like I found a back way to the ponds. So we're gonna still try to get over there, but I stopped by here in the spool off to take a look at the ocean. There's the road we're gonna follow. But yeah, very pretty out today. Probably the best day of the week I've been here. So I pulled off to the side of the road again. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a big World War II history in the Aleutians. But I pulled off the side of the road because this was an old turret station for firing at ships if they were to come into the bay. And then I also saw, looks like there might have been a 4th of July thing here, or a memorial. Let's go down and take a look at it. Let's pay our respects. Yeah, it looks like this is a memorial for someone. We're not going to disturb it, just want to take a look at it. We got sandstone steps going back up. Back on our adventure. Okay, so we left Summers Bay behind on our way to the ponds, and now we are at Morris Cove. We stop and take a look at it. You can see people have done some bonfires. There's a pit over here when I was walking over to the cove. Yeah, over there. So you can see those pallets of wood. Little bonfire pit area. So you can see they're kind of all over the island. Not supposed to, but they are. So let's keep on moving. Okay, we finally made it. You can see the sign for fishing. There's your daily limits. Here is the pond, and if we go this way, you can see another bonfire. But if we go this way, you can see this pond also feeds into the ocean. But if you keep going down this road, we're not going to go because it's just more ponds. It's going to look similar to this. But if you keep going, and that, plus I don't know how deep this portion is. I haven't actually gone past this. I've just heard. But if you go past this, keep following this road past those hills over there, you'll see more ponds that you can go fish at and stuff like that. You can see there's an old barge or a dock. I think it's an old dock that's just worn away over time. But I like coming out here because it's so incredibly peaceful. You're so far away from town that you're not gonna be hindered by daily life and stuff like that. And this is why I like coming out to the Aleutians for stuff like this. So probably be our last adventure. There's 2 other cool places to go. We get the hike to them, and like I said, with my foot being all busted up, probably not smartest to go walking too far. But Bunker Hill and the barracks are the other last 2 places that we could go, other than Ballyhoo and Pyramid. So, alrighty, my friends. The next time you'll see me probably is going to be in the airport, headed back to Seattle. Let's head back to town. And I forgot about this. This is a sea stack that you can see driving on the main road, or back, I guess, main back road back to town. There's town over there, so it's pretty cool looking.